We are live on a Monday morning after the Bears' winning streak came to an end, but a lot coming up here on Hoge Jahns. Of course, we're going to talk about the quarterback situation. We have to. Your likes and dislikes, as always. We got your voicemails as well. Hoge Jahns starts right now. What's up? Welcome in. Hoge Jahns with you on a Monday morning. Live on YouTube. Ready to go. Bears losing streak is over. Johnsy's already back.
Bears winning streak is over.
Oh, yeah. What did I just say? Losing streak?
Losing streak is over. Let's hope there's not a losing streak that follows this 4-2 start for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, hopefully that was an accidental foreshadowing. My fault. Need more coffee here on Monday morning.
You need more coffee.
Well, I know. But if it makes you feel any better, I was up pretty damn early, too, trying to watch this whole thing. And I got a lot of thoughts today, John. Some concerning things that don't, well, I guess it kind of has to do with the quarterback, but it goes beyond that, too. So we got a lot to get to. Right off the top, though, I want to make sure you are aware of what we got going on tomorrow night in the city. A live recording, our first one in a few years. So hopefully we'll see you out there tomorrow night, October 28th, 6 p.m. We'll be going live in front of the audience in front of us. It's that we're not live on YouTube or anything. So if you want to consume the show live, you need to be there. Chicago Brew House on the Riverwalk, really cool venue. And they got their patio and everything souped up for fall, the fall weather we got right now. So, bring a jacket, but they got heat lamps and everything. It's football weather out there. We're going to have a good time as we do our first live recording in a long, long time. And it's a cool spot, good drinks, good food. Come on out. Should be a great time, 6 p.m. And then the podcast will drop on Wednesday morning. We usually have a new episode midweek. So coming out.
Come ask questions. I think there'll be a nice Q&A session that happens on this podcast recording. So if you got questions, come join us.
Yeah, come on out. We do ask, if you don't mind, to go to our events page at allchgo.com and RSVP. There's no cost to get in or anything. You don't have to buy tickets, but if you RSVP, it just helps us get a better idea of who's coming, and it looks like we got a good turnout already on the way. So looking forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow night in the city. Again, that's allchgo.com/events. You can find tomorrow night's event there on that page and hit RSVP. All right, let's jump in. Make sure you're following us on our social channels as well at Hoge Jahns on Instagram and X and Twitter and all those places. Got a lot of notes, Johns, to get to, and I know we wanted to, before we get to our likes and dislikes in the next segment, talk about the quarterback, because I could definitely sense it on our post-game show yesterday, the frustration building among fans that this isn't quite taking off at the rate everybody wants, hopes, and expects, and then it never helps when you got Drake May doing what he's doing, right? And last year you had Jaden Daniels doing what he was doing. This year it's more Drake May. I mean, he's clearly been the best quarterback of last year's quarterback class this season. Good reminder, though, there that things can change and fluctuate, but I get it. I get the frustration right now.
This stat was shared by the NFL yesterday. Drake May joins an elite QB club with 200-plus passing yards and 100-plus passer rating in 7-plus consecutive games within a season at any age. Can you name the quarterbacks that Drake May's name is now among?
How many were there?
4.
Give me the stats one more time.
200 plus passing yards, 100 plus passer rating in 7 consecutive games within a season at any age.
Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah, no, I can't. I mean, I don't know. I could just start rattling off some of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Well,
I'm assuming Brady is one of them.
Well, that's your starting point.
Mahomes.
Aaron Rodgers, 2011, 2020. Tom Brady, 2007. Peyton Manning, 2004. Patrick Mahomes, 2018.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I don't. It's frustrating, but I mean, let's try not to do the comparison thing right now. Let's try to talk about Caleb as much as we can. I mean, yesterday, a lot of the same issues, right? It's the just miscommunication at time, whether it's pre-snap, whether it's post-snap, the intentional groundings, the inaccuracies at times. And then there's some great plays mixed in. I mean, the Bears, I was looking at the numbers this morning. Once again, the explosive play percentage is very high. Now, I think a lot of that is a testament to Ben Johnson and kind of scheming these things up where they can be hit.
Yeah.
But you also have the quarterback that needs to make the throw. So it's been I will say this, it's been a weird 7 games to try to evaluate because it's been very up and down. And there's a lot of good things to point to. And then there's a lot of the same frustrations. There's some new frustrations too. Some of the inaccuracies on the run. The sack percentage is way down. That's a very, very good thing. But it's hard to feel great about the quarterback progress right now.
Can we start with what I kind of laid out in the post-game show yesterday, how Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams saw his interception a bit differently, like very differently. Yeah. Now you've gone through it. You heard from Caleb Williams after I spoke yesterday. What do you make of that interception, and what do you make of their comments post-game about that interception?
Well, I think it's exactly what they said. I think Caleb thinks he made a good read, and the DB just made a nice play. Now, I think that's half true.
You think it's a good read?
No, I think the DB made a great play. I don't think it's a horrific read, though.
Even if Marlon Humphrey's coming in, if hearing his explanation about that play, maybe if I lead Rome Odunze a bit further, out and like afterwards, if you're watching the video of Caleb talking, he actually puts his arms out like that, extends his arms. Marlon Humphrey's closing in fast.
Right.
That could be a violent finish for Rome Odunze there.
No, okay. If your point is it's not a good read and it's concerning that the quarterback said after the game it's a good read, then I 100% agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not seeing / understanding what the field and the defense is to the level that Ben Johnson is.
He's not seeing the game.
Nor should he, by the way.
He's not seeing the game through the same lens and the same eyes as his offensive coordinator / play caller, is what we're saying.
No, but if we're also being fair, I think anybody expecting that to be happening to this point, that's unfair. I mean, Ben Johnson is an elite offensive mind, and I think despite some of these struggles we've seen at times with his offense this year, we're still seeing those glimpses of just. I'm going to get to it a little bit later in the show when we get to our likes and dislikes, but you can just look at the first 2 drives of the game and how everything's drawn up and run and called at the right times. To expect a second-year quarterback to be seeing the game at Ben Johnson's level right now as a play caller in 7 games, I think is an unfair, unrealistic expectation.
I think this is where we have to, quibble a little bit. Like Drake May's having no problem seeing the game through Josh McDaniel's eyes at the moment.
Yeah.
And like 2018 has always been like a great reference point for what the Bears are experiencing. Veteran defensive coordinator, second-year quarterback, offensive-minded head coach. A lot of great vibes, a lot of great energy, especially in the locker room post-game. We've gone from the booms of Matt Nagy to the good, better, best of Ben Johnson. But you know what also happened in 2018? Patrick Mahomes decided to become Patrick Mahomes while Mitch Trubisky was Mr. Trubisky. And then you had different narratives, different storylines taking off. And Adam, it's happening again. Like, I'm being patient with Caleb Williams. I understand this is going to require time. I like that we're going to talk about what Mike Sando just wrote in The Athletic, my former colleague. But I think it's fair to still expect better from Caleb Williams at this point. Less downs, a few more ups, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to.
I mean, I think that's 100% fair, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I think multiple things can be true at the same time. One, if you want to say he's the number one overall pick, this generational talent who hasn't lived up to those expectations right now, I think that's completely a true statement. On the other hand, you know, I think it's a different type of, when you say this is happening again, I don't think it's apples to apples. Caleb Williams is still on pace to throw for over 4,000 yards. Okay. It's a different, I would say, and I was actually texting with somebody this morning. His floor right now, I still feel like is in the Kyler, Tua, Trevor Lawrence type level of these highly drafted first round quarterbacks, some of them first overall too, that were good enough to get a second contract, but are still kind of driving their fan bases nuts at times and their coaches nuts at times. That's the level that I think Caleb is on, more so than the Mitch Trubisky who didn't get a second contract with the team that drafted him, the Justin Fields that didn't get a second contract with the team that drafted him. So I think it's a different level. It can still, though, at the same time be true that it's disappointing and it's not where you thought it would be right now for somebody as good as he is.
First pick, I don't know. I know what you're trying to say, but Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. I'm gonna check you right now. You think this is as bad as Mitch Trubisky?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. This isn't bus conversation at all.
No, this isn't bus conversation, but it's
okay. I just want to make that clear.
Let's raise the bar higher than Tua.
I'm with you on that.
Trevor Lawrence isn't bad because he's also a first overall pick. You know, he has a 4,000 yards passing season, like 4,000 yards. You know, I understand it. But it's not like this level. Like how many quarterbacks get 4,000 yards? Like 2003, I got here. Like 10 of them did it. Yes,
a lot
of them.
It's a low bar. Yeah. It's an embarrassing bar that we hold Bears quarterbacks to.
Right.
It is.
Like 2003, like the leading passer in yardage that year was Tua. Trevor Lawrence was 10th. You know, Sam Howell was 12th with 3,900 passing yards.
In fact, somebody texted me this morning. And it's only the last 5 years, so it might even go beyond that. But every quarterback that's played in the Super Bowl the last 5 seasons, there's only one that did not throw for 4,000 yards that season, and that's Jalen Hurts, who is a completely different style, different quarterback. You kind of know what you're getting there. But otherwise, even Brock Purdy, 4,280 yards that season when he was the starting quarterback for the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Geno Smith
I get it. Raise the bar.
Geno Smith has 2 4,000 yard passing seasons. I'm just trying to hold Caleb Williams to, I think, a standard that he holds himself to in many aspects. And I know that Ben Johnson wants to hold him to in terms of what's expected of him, like every single time he takes the football field.
Mike Sando, who we've had on the show many, many times, he's the one that does the quarterback tiers in the offseason, an awesome project for The Athletic. He always has a 6-pack column, or pick six. What does he call it?
Pick six.
I should know that. Pick six. Yeah. Mike Sandals pick six. The 6-pack, I think, is Schefter. I think that's what I did there. Anyway, some stuff on Caleb this morning, a talent evaluator telling him, quote, "I have not seen a ton of improvement from Caleb Williams. I see a guy reluctant to fall into the confines of a system, who has a big arm and enough athletic ability to exploit coverage with his legs. You get the flash plays, but you get the frustration with the inconsistency. It's hard to win games when you play like that." He's also a coach. who told Mike Sando, quote, "Is there progress being made with Caleb Williams? Yes. Is it where you want to see it at the moment of truth? No." I would agree with that. Also, some interesting numbers though Sando put in here, comparing the first 7 games that Caleb's had with Ben Johnson with the first 7 games Jared Goff had with Ben Johnson. And the numbers are pretty similar, including completion percentage. Goff had more passing yards, but yards per attempt is actually virtually identical. So they're probably running the ball more effectively, or I don't know. Quarterback rating's almost identical. Caleb's EPA per pass is actually higher than Goff's. Then at that point, though, in that season, and this is what we're going to have to watch the rest of this year, Johnsy, Jared Goff just skyrocketed. Right around this point in the season, stats are about pretty much identical to where Caleb's are right now. Looks very similar. And then Jared Goff took off like a rocket ship the second half of that season, as did the Lions. And he's pretty much stayed up there at this point. So I think that that's a good message to keep in mind. Like, hey, we need to be patient. However, if you want to say the time is right now, the time is now. It's time to start seeing this thing go in the right direction the rest of this season. I'm not going to dispute you on that. I think we need to start seeing results.
I think where I've always struggled with the Jared Goff comparison, like, because this is not the first time that the numbers have been used to compare and contrast the situations between Caleb Williams and what Ben Johnson did in Detroit. Jared Goff was a Pro Bowl quarterback before he worked with Ben Johnson. Like, he went to a Super Bowl. Like, he had a lot of success. Like, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league, like, before that, statistically speaking. You could argue about, what he was doing in Sean McVay's offense before, but he had all of those experiences up until that point with Ben Johnson, and then they managed to get on the same page with each other. I think this situation is about development and progress and patience, where in a way that was almost you could even argue it was like a matter of time before Jared Goff and Ben Johnson clicked, given what we know about Ben Johnson now.
I hear you. I also think that what you just said, though, sort of also validates the idea that even a quarterback with that much experience and skins on the wall in the NFL still went through a 7-8 game period with Ben Johnson early on where it took a while to get on the same page. So shouldn't Caleb Williams, a younger quarterback in his second year, be given that same type of leeway?
Yes, I think he should play the entire year.
Oh yeah,
but I still think there's like context here that still needs to be included, given Jared Goff's previous success before joining Ben Johnson.
Yeah, it's not apples to apples. I get it. But I think it's and as you pointed out in your column, sometimes we don't have to make this complicated. He got outplayed by Tyler Huntley yesterday.
Yes.
Now, Tyler Huntley, you can do way worse than Tyler Huntley as a backup quarterback. He's actually started.
The Ravens literally were for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and actually, if I was doing a show in Baltimore this morning, I would be wondering why the hell Cooper Rush was ever starting games for them, and maybe looking back on it at the end of the year, if they missed the playoffs, going, well, did that cost them the playoffs? Because you could just see the way Tyler Huntley comes in, and it's not to the level of Lamar Jackson, obviously, but the offense is very, very similar. You don't have to drastically change things like they had to do when Cooper Rush came in. That's a very questionable decision they made in Baltimore right now.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. That was, if I had to boil down my column to like just one sentence, it's like, shame on me for expecting Caleb Williams to play better than Tyler Huntley in this situation. Given all the injuries, I understand the Ravens got their guys back. I understand that the Bears defense was missing their cornerbacks, but one was on the practice squad like a couple days ago. The other one has been playing the entire season. One was drafted with the first overall pick. expectations.
Well, DJ had a good question right there, point blank in the comments. Do you honestly think this will turn around?
I don't know.
I will say I'm not afraid to say this on October 27th. I'm a little worried.
I think what I'm confident in is if DeAndre Swift is healthy, the Bears will be able to run the football. I think the offensive line has improved. I think the takeaways, in a sense, will return when the Bears secondary is healthy, but that lack of a pass rush, a consistent pass rush from the front four, it's a real thing. It really is. It has to improve in some shape or form going forward. But I think the Bears will be competitive. They'll be in games, but in those moments when you need Caleb Williams to be Superman, you hope you get Superman.
The real question that's going on behind the scenes is, did Adam Johns' amazing story on Al Harris completely jinx the secondary?
I could not foresee or predict the injury in practice to Kyler Gordon.
Oh, man. Yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit. All right. We have to take our first time out. Don't go anywhere. We got our likes and dislikes coming up. I'm going to probably go on a little rant here about a very specific area of this football game that was a disaster.
I think we can all safely guess which area and which phase this is going to be, everybody.
Well, how about this? I think you're actually guessing wrong.
Oh, okay, fine.
I think
I'll
you're
save
guessing
that for
wrong.
myself.
Yeah, although it is on my list. And we got your voicemails, too. Those should be good, so don't go anywhere. But first...
All right, Adam, our friends at Sunnyside Dispensary are here to elevate your football season. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free shopping. They have a crazy selection with over 100 different strands to choose from with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Wherever you are in Illinois, Sunnyside has a location for you. They have spots as far south as Champaign and as far north as South Beloit. Stop in the store nearest you for your expert guidance from their staff. The best. You just have to visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. For returning customers, use code CHGO50. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Dispensary, bright buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders.
And I am pleased to be the first to welcome DraftKings Sportsbook to Hoge and Jahns. NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? Well, for us here, it's the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. And the best part, new customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code, here it is, Hoge and Jahns. That's code Hoge and Jahns, HOGEANDJAHNS, for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. All right, Johnsy, it is time for our likes and dislikes. Of course, brought to you by our friends at RC Cola, because RC Cola is not a soft drink. It's just damn good cola.
Damn good cola.
Bears needed some RC yesterday. Maybe that's the key. Maybe Drake May drinks RC Cola. Although it's in there for it's in there at Hallis Hall for all these guys to consume. So might have to consult the training staff. All right. I'm going to start with the dislikes, and I was highly annoyed in the moment and even more annoyed this morning as I rewatched it. And I shared the frustration of J.J. Watt, who was calling this game. And at one point, I even threw my pen live. That's true. It's true. Because, Johns, if I was J.J. Watt, see, we had the benefit of watching training camp. But if I was J.J. Watt, who was not at training camp practices, and I watched what the Bears did at the end of the half yesterday and at the end of the game, I would have just assumed the Bears have never practiced end of half, end of game situations. Now, we know better because we watched them do it all of August.
They did a lot.
But my goodness, there was high school BS going on with the Bears at the end of the half. And I thought, honestly, it was even worse at the end of the game. End of the half, you get the ball after your kickoff return. You still have 1:02 on the clock with 2 timeouts. In today's NFL, where you don't have to go that far to get in the field goal range. Now, the Bears have to go a little bit farther because Cairo doesn't have the same leg. But 1:02 on the clock, 2 timeouts, you should be good. You should not be in a situation where you have to do your Mayday field goal with everybody scrambling on the field on a 58-yarder. And it starts with, and I thought this was one of the bigger plays in the game, Caleb Williams not getting out of bounds on his scramble. And it's just situational football 101. You have to get out of bounds. Everybody on the field, everybody on that sideline should know in that situation, you got to conserve time. You got to conserve your timeouts. Get out of bounds. Didn't happen. Then you have the miscommunication with Colson Loveland on a choice route. Caleb thought he was breaking out towards the sideline, which, by the way, probably in that situation, because of the clock, again, you probably should be. So he throws the ball to the spot on the intentional grounding. Receiver's not there. It's a penalty. Now you got to burn a timeout. I brought this up on the postgame. You didn't actually have to burn the timeout. You could have just taken a 10-second rundown, saved your timeout, had 12 seconds on the clock, run your play, then call timeout. Now everybody's not rushed on the field goal. Now, they executed it, so it's okay. But I would prefer, as somebody who coaches special teams, you always feel more comfortable about the field goal if everybody can breathe, take a breath, set everything up, and it's not a scramble. Now, we don't know if Cairo would have made it or not. And to his credit, he actually struck that ball very well straight down the middle. It just was short. And the game was even worse, Johns. You have that, I don't know, it looked like a play out of Madden with Caleb just running around 360, throws the ball up in the air. Phenomenal catch from DJ Moore. It was a great catch. But immediately, as he's on the sideline, right around the 5-yard line, John, he's not getting to the end zone. Go out of bounds. You have to go out of bounds there. And J.J. Watt, immediately was screaming, go out of bounds, go out of bounds, go out of bounds. And he instead, he lowers his shoulder, ends up being tackled, what was it, the 2 or the 1 or whatever, inbounds, clock's running. You had no timeouts at that point. Wasted a bunch of time off the clock. It just blows my mind that could happen. Both of those. One of them is a second-year player, but he's also the number 1 overall pick. DJ Moore's been in the league forever. Very, very frustrating. I'm also confused at the personnel. I don't know if you noticed this, but on 2 of the plays that they ended up running near the goal line after that, Jade Walker was out there with Devin Duvernay. Now, Duvernay was playing because
Luther Burden had
a concussion. But then you throw to Colson Loveland short of the end zone. You have no timeouts. The ball has to be in the end zone. Now, that one was incomplete. But the next one, throw to Devin Duvernay short of the end zone. You have no timeouts. The ball has to be in the end zone. You just did it twice in a row. What is happening out there? It's like there was no awareness of the situation. You're also down 2 scores. You have to score immediately. Then you run the quarterback sneak, which to his credit, Ben Johnson called out himself as a bad play call. Again, you don't get in. 30 seconds run off the clock. And then you just have a bad throw to DJ Moore at the end. That entire sequence was insulting to anybody who knows anything about football.
There were 23 seconds, if my math is correct. You got the play-by-play in front of you?
I can pull it up.
So Caleb
Which
Williams.
part? Are we going end to half or end of game?
So end and a half, because
Okay.
I'm going back to how we all felt in the press box, including some of the Bears staff members that were sitting nearby. So Caleb Williams has his long scramble, as you said, and he said should get out of bounds. Doesn't get out of bounds. Bears immediately have to call a timeout. It's 49 seconds left. Their next snap at 1st and 10, Baltimore 44. Caleb Williams pass short right to Olamide Zaccheaus, Baltimore 39 for 5 yards.
In the middle of the field.
Yes. 23 seconds pass. 23.
Mm-hmm.
The entire press row, and again, where everybody, let's just say those watching from the press box, not just media members, were hurry up. What is going on? 23 seconds pass. 23 seconds pass. You just used your second timeout. Obviously, you're trying to save this third timeout. But 23 seconds pass to the next one. The next play was the intentional grounding.
This is the first time. I guess this could be spun into a positive. I mean, it's a good thing that it took to week 8 for us to have kind of a moment like this, but this is the first time under Ben Johnson where there's been sort of a situational thing that you just really question, honestly, the coaching, the play, everything involved in it. Like, are they practicing this? Again, we know they are, or they did in July and August. We watched them do it. Now, we don't get to watch practice once the season starts. I assume they still spend time on this during the week, at least once or twice. You would hope so. But, yeah, I mean, to the Giggity's point there in the comments, not as bad as Matt Eberflus game management, but it's the first time under Ben Johnson where you got to really be like, what are you guys doing?
Like, were you surprised they didn't just down the ball, spike the ball into the ground, like after that DJ Moore one? Like, since he didn't go out of bounds. Game? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you're running. There's different things. Like, so let's go back to the Zaccheaus one at the end of the half. 5 yard. So if you're going to throw a 5-yard little dump off in the middle of the field where you know you're not getting out of bounds and you don't want to burn one of your timeouts, well, you had one left, right? You don't want to burn your last timeout. Then you got to know in that situation, if I'm throwing that's what we're completing. Everybody's got to be on the same page. We're getting a line of scrimmage and we're either spiking it or we know we're running immediately. You can't let all that time run off like you just said. Now, there are other situations where you complete a huge play. Like, part of the problem with what was that? What was that gain to DJ Moore at the end of the game? It was
I got it right here. It was
42 yards.
42 yards. Down to the Baltimore 3.
Down to the Baltimore 3, and it's first down, and everybody's running half the length of the field down there to get set. Just spike the ball.
Yes.
Just everybody run down there, spike the ball, because you're not. And look at it. That play was run with 156. The next one's run 118.
It's a lot.
You don't have that much time when you're down 2 scores. So, yes. That's got to be a spike. And again, in that moment, you don't know that you're going to get a 42-yard pass play. So everybody on the sideline and Ben Johnson in Caleb's headset needs to be saying spike, 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 or whatever code word that they have for that. And Caleb's got to be yelling out and everybody's got to run down there and everyone's got to be on the same page. So, yeah, both of those, end of game and end of half, extremely disliked. Do we have a bonus just really, really dislike?
Like, really, really dislike? Well, I didn't like playing, I didn't like the I didn't really like the playing the special teams. I know you didn't.
Well, they were bad. But when you finally get a well-executed punt from Torrey Taylor and the coverage team to down the ball, it would have been at the 2, not the 1, because the way
that's probably that's part of the conversation here too.
And you can't get lined up properly, which now has been an issue on offense, defense, and special teams, lining up properly. Because you had Jonathan Ford line up like half a yard offsides over the ball. You're looking at the ball. Very, very yeah, special teams in general. Cairo had a good game, but the coverage unit, it ended up mattering. It mattered a lot. And then watch when you can't execute that punt to back the Ravens up, and then later in the game, they execute a punt against you where they're able to catch it in the air. That led to the interception. That was a key moment in the game. That Caleb interception backed up was set up by the Ravens executing a punt that you were unable to do earlier in the game because you couldn't get lined up properly. And they went down after that, by the way, and I believe they score on that drive and they took up like the entire quarter. Whereas you back them up at the 2, there's a very high probability that you're going to be able to force a punt back where you're getting the ball now at midfield. That completely changes the complexion of the field position game. That penalty was bigger than I think people even realize. It was frustrating in the moment, but it was also, I think, a huge play in the game.
Yeah. So, speaking of penalties, I like that Ben Johnson is not putting the pressure, the onus on his players, his leadership, his team leadership for the penalty situation. I like that he's turning it into that, but at the same time, I also don't like that it's reached this point.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to, and so Ben Johnson is going to be speaking to the media at 3:00 over Zoom. I'm sure there'll be questions following up on this, but it struck me as just very notable at this midpoint part of the season that the Bears' leadership, in a sense, is being called out by the head coach already. Like that to me is something.
Yeah, I think though that's just his way of sort of just, it's almost like a cry for help. Like, all right,
another reason I don't like it.
I know. I don't like that it has to happen.
Yeah,
but it's at some point coaches run out of options for buttons to push, right? Like you've tried everything. It's not like the Bears aren't working on this stuff. It's not like they're not. They know the penalties are a problem. They know that. But it's like they've been talking about details since the first practice of OTAs. So at some point, I can't just put it on the coaches. It's not like they're not emphasizing this stuff. The players got to go out and do it. And I thought Lance Briggs brought up a great point on our show yesterday, which was like, all right, if I'm the player that's false starting or jumping off sides or whatever it is, like I sure as hell am making sure on the next snap, I'm the last guy off the ball. Now, it might hurt me in my execution of the rest of the play, but and so his point is like this has been a point of emphasis. Execute it. Like as a player, you just got to do that. Here's a question from Tyler Day. I'm so sick of people blaming coaches about penalties. Be explicit here, Hoge Jahns. What is Ben supposed to do? Give us examples. Everyone is always saying it's coaching. Tell me how. I'm with you, actually. I'm with you, Tyler. I think for a coaching staff that has preached details from day one, I don't know what else they're supposed to do. I really don't.
Well,
that's why I think he's putting on the leadership, John.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
I think he's exasperated. He's beyond frustrated by this because coaches will tell you, let's use a little coach speak. You get what you emphasize. And they are emphasizing these points every single week. And yet they keep happening. The false starts keep happening. The penalties keep happening. So let me give you some stats. This is from NFLpenalties.com. All right, so the Bears are, in terms of penalties against, the Bears rank, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in the league with 64 penalties against. 64. but they've played one fewer game than some of the teams in front of them, right? If you just want to compare and contrast, like the Denver Broncos have had 1,253 plays this year and have had committed a league high 68 penalties. Where the Bears have had 1,037 plays, they committed 64. The net yards, this is the big one, like net yards in terms of penalties, the Bears lead the league with a negative 279 yard differential. In terms of penalties, their penalties and the ones going against the opposition. So they are the worst in the league when it comes to net yardage and penalties.
Yeah, it's bad. Andrew says they need to play red light, green light in House Hall. That's funny. All right, I got some more here. I'll give you a like. I like that they targeted Colson Loveland on the first play of the game and got 18 yards out of it. I don't like that he only had 2 catches for 20 more yards the rest of the game.
Honestly, I really like that first quarter just in terms of play calling concepts. From where we sat in the press box, we were behind the Bears offense for the entirety of that first quarter. And it was awesome to see the play action. Mm-hmm. The Ravens didn't know what was coming. Guys were wide open. There was explosive plays all over the field. Then everything ended in the red zone.
Pretty much everything on my likes is from those first 2 drives. First play to Colson Loveland, you got Caleb out on a boot, threw it with accuracy, which was a problem last week. Third down play action to Roma Dunze. You used Ozzie Trapillo. Got to get something out of your second round pick. Got him out there in jumbo sets, extra blocking, offensive lineman / tight end. But part of the reason why I'm sure they did that because they knew they didn't have Cole Kmet this week. Cole Kmet, very good blocking tight end, has been great this season blocking. Gets an extra offensive lineman out there. Johns, there was a play action that they ran on first down in what I would call jumbo 13 because you essentially had Ozzie out there as your third tight end. So those 3 tight ends, but one of them is your offensive lineman. That means you only have 1 wide receiver on the field. That was Roma Dunze. You only have 2 routes going out. Colson Loveland running the other one. So you got Loveland run one route, Roma Dunze running the other against 6 in coverage. Like the numbers right there are not with you. That shouldn't be an easy completion. And yet it was because the play action still sucked the linebackers in. All 3 of them ended up dropping, but it sucked them in enough. And then Rome just beat his guy. Little wiggle to the corner. Caleb hits him. So that creativity in a situation where, like, if Rome's not open, there's not a whole lot of, you're probably just, I think Monungai was coming out of the backfield, probably would have been the check down option. I don't know that Colson Loveland would have been open on the other side, but everything that they installed, ran, and executed on those first 2 drives up until they got in the red zone was good.
And look, I know Mike Green beat Theo Benedict. He ended up possession himself. Like that's going to happen. Does Theo have to be better on that? Yes, but these red zone problems they're a theme of the season. The Bears are near the bottom of the league. They entered at like 50% coming into this game, and now it's worse. Now it's much worse.
A couple more dislikes in the red zone.
Can I continue? Can I have a question real quick for you here?
Yeah.
Since we all liked the first quarter, and I know this has been a conversation point already on social media. I think Brad Biggs wrote about it. Dan Durkin, our old friend, has brought this up. When the scripted plays end, when all the stuff that's been practiced a lot ends, like are you buying what happens after that, where the Bears are now struggling to move the football quarters 2 to 3 because all the stuff they've scripted, all the stuff they've practiced, the defense is adjusting. Like this is where you need Caleb to be better. This is where you need Ben Johnson to be better. Are you buying this conversation right now?
I think there's enough evidence right now that that's a concern. Yeah.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the tape is showing that. Both quarterbacks in the first quarter had a scramble where they needed to get the first down. Caleb did not get it. Tyler Huntley did. And now in Caleb's case, I'm talking about, I think it was the first drive where they ruled him down like just short of the first down line.
Yeah.
And then they ended up having a false start on Colson Loveland right after that backed them up. Now, to their credit, they managed to pick it up anyway after that. Caleb scrambled around, ran around, and they found Roma Dunze somehow. But I need my quarterback to get that first down right there. And Tyler Huntley later had almost the exact same situation. And right at the last second, he was able to reach the ball over the line, get the first down. Then I think he went out of bounds. So I just didn't like that. You mentioned the Benedette getting beat. Can't get lined up properly. I'm just going through all these. Here's one I had for you. Johnsy, do you know at what point in the game DeAndre Swift got his 5th carry?
Oh. It was the fourth quarter, and
it's actually 3:27 left in the third.
Okay, so
yeah, but basically the fourth quarter.
Yes,
yeah, that's the point.
So I'm remembering this correctly.
Yeah.
He's obviously not 100%. He's been on the injury report like every single week this year. To see Kyle Monangai out there that long would seemingly suggest to me that he was not healthy, that DeAndre Swift was battling something during the game. And when they needed him, he came out onto the field. When they needed big plays, they brought Swift out, and he delivered those big plays. But after the game, he showed no signs of injury, didn't even want to talk about injury situations specifically for the Chicago Bears. So, but
he averaged 4 yards per carry.
He was good.
He looked good when he got the ball. That's my point. So whether it's injury or just play calling, I don't know, but it was a warning sign that Kyle Monangai actually got the first carry of the game. That was my first is he? I know he's playing, but is DeAndre Swift not healthy? But he looks good enough. And then the EPA numbers and some of the advanced metrics show you that Monangai's just not been efficient enough running.
There was one run, it had to be late third quarter, early fourth. I'll look it up here in a second, where Swift bounces it outside. It was another chunk play. I think it was a 10-plus yard run. Let me find the play-by-play here. But he didn't look like he had the typical. I felt like he usually gains more yardage than he would have, or than he did on that run. I'm looking for it right now. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. 2nd and 5. Bears 22. DeAndre Swift left tackle to Bears 35 for 13 yards. Like that run, it looked like there was a lot of space, but he didn't have that extra gear to run past the defender and gain more yards. I thought in that instance, he looked hurt.
Yeah. All right, my last dislike, and look, it's nobody's fault because there's been a lot of injuries, but the cornerbacks they weren't good. They weren't good enough. Getting picked apart by Tyler Huntley, some penalties here and there. I thought Deshaun Wright played fine, but in a way, the only other time this season that we saw the corners look like this was against Detroit when they got 52 points. Because while Tyreek Stevenson played in that game, Tyreek Stevenson was awful in that game. He gave up a perfect passer rating. So in that game, you were without Kyler, you were without Jalen Johnson, you had Nick McLeod out there, and then you had a not good version of Tyreek Stevenson, who then again after that looked outstanding until he got hurt. But my point is, it's concerning the cornerback situation right now. If Tyler Huntley can pick you apart, Johns, I saw Joe Flacco in person a few weeks ago, and I know that the Bengals lost yesterday to the Jets, but you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins next week. And Joe Flacco knows how to get them the ball. I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm very, very worried about that situation if Tyreek Stevenson cannot return And to this point, we don't know, but we haven't seen him. And then Kyler is on IR. So we know he's not playing.
On the road in Cincinnati against a team that just lost to the Jets in a Justin Fields comeback.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of talking points going into this one and out of this one.
Which again brings this whole thing full circle. Your quarterback needs to be better. Because if you're going to go into this matchup with these concerning matchups I just brought up, with your secondary as depleted as it is, you have to have good quarterback play on the other side of the ball. And to Justin Fields' credit, and I haven't watched the tape, I haven't studied, but good for Justin Fields, who was ridiculously treated by his owner last week. And I don't know, did you end up seeing his press conference afterwards?
I know he was emotional.
Yeah, I just saw the clip but talking about how he's literally laying in his closet crying leading up to this game after everything he went through last week, getting benched, the comments from the owner, then awkwardly having to play, finding out Saturday that he was going to go. Good for him, man. Because Justin's always been the great dude and first class, and he's somebody you want. I mean, you want to root for. You want to see. I think all the fans felt that way when he was here too. And he didn't deserve that last week. That was ridiculous. So I felt good for Justin Fields getting that win and him playing better. But yeah, it's also fair to say, okay, Caleb, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
Against this Bengals defense, because you're going to need it.
I think my number one dislike, like leaving Baltimore, is that the noise is only going to get louder the second half of the season. If Drake May continues to do what he's doing, if Bo Nix continues to do what he's doing, if Jaden Daniels comes back healthy and looks like Jaden Daniels of last year, and Caleb's having games like this, the noise is going to be out of control. It's a noise we know all too well, but it's coming if Caleb Williams does not play better.
Speaking of noise, we have your voicemails coming up, and it's the kind of noise we like because they're always very, very entertaining. And our great producer, Katie Langen, has put those together. We will have that coming up next. But first,
are you ready to level up your collection or get started trading cards? Arena Club's original slab packs bring the thrill of ripping packs combined with the power to buy, sell, and trade all in one place. Arena Club has flipped that entire cycle on its head. Get authentic graded cards instantly on Arena Club. You can decide, hold, sell, or have it shipped to you directly. You can also decide to take an instant cash offer based on market value. One click, cash in, no guesswork. With slab packs, you can rip a wide range of packs starting at $25 and up. Every pack has grails that are at least 20 times the price of the pack. With every slab pack, Arena Club will make you an instant offer for your card based on market value. From your digital showroom, you can trade, sell, auction, or retrieve your physical card from the Arena Club. Yes, the packs are digital, but the cards are real. So right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/CHGO and use code CHGO.
And if you need to feel organized and confident in your finances, which we all do, come on, let's be real. Check out Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that I use every single day. It brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or on your phone. Right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year. Monarch is built for people like us with busy lives. If you've been putting off organizing your finances, this thing is built for you. That does all the heavy lifting. You can link all of your accounts in minutes. You get clear data visuals, smart categorization of your spending, and real control over your money. You can create any category for what you need. I even have a golf tab. This is the money I spend on golf. It's all budgeted. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code CHGO at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code CHGO. Time now for your voicemails as we close up another Monday edition of Hoge Jahns. Of course, the voicemail line, write it down if you want to contribute next week. 224-725-3046. That's 224-725-3046. Put it in your phone. Love the calls, pregame, in-game, post-game. Here are your voicemails from the Bears' loss to the Ravens.
Hello?
Do you know who this is?
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
The Hoge Jahns voicemail. The Hoge Jahns voicemail line.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep.
Got any questions or comments about the Bears? Give the guys a call before, after, or even during the game.
Go Bears!
Hoge Jahns is Basabrowski calling in live from the home of the late great D'Angelo Barksdale. Boys, we got the Ravens today, and apparently poor widow Lamar is too scared to play the big back Bears. Well, tough titties for the crab cake crew, because the monsters out of Midway are coming. And if you come at the king, you best not throw Tyler Huntley and Cooper Rush at them, because those boys are going to throw like 200 interceptions to this defense. Well, let's go Bears. Take care of business. 5 in a row. Bear down. Chicago Bears.
Boys, it's National Tight End Day. You know that Ben's cooking up some diabolical schemes for Colson Loveland and Caleb Williams. It's time to go take it to the Ravens. Let's go 5-2. Bear down.
I don't know what the Bears are doing with their red zone. This is ridiculous. How many field goals have you got to have? I think they're just doing it so Hoge's got something to talk about as far as special teams.
It is fun seeing this team be more competitive with a creative offense, but they're not going to do if they keep getting penalized this much. 5 penalties already, and it's not even halftime.
Hey, Hoge and John. It's Neil from Arizona. Halftime, just gotta say. We talked about this before the game. The penalties were going to be an issue, and it's kind of kicking us in the pants right now. So I really hope we got a good change of direction at halftime, because we need to get this stuff going and fast, because this is a playoff team that we got to beat to show that we're the real deal. So go Bears.
Guys, mess of the first half. Sloppy penalties, poor play after the first 2 drives. And you know what? Cairo, he's not the problem, but he's not the solution. He does not have an NFL caliber leg. Bear down.
Hey, Hoge Jahns, it's Brett from South Dakota. I just don't understand how it can look so good in the first quarter, minus not getting in the end zone, and so dreadful in the second. Sure, there's a difference in scripted plays versus not, but it can't be this big of a difference. Also, can we quit shooting ourselves in the foot? Too many freaking penalties. I'd be willing to bet the last grounding was on a blown route, but still, we can't keep killing ourselves. One final thing, why isn't Moody in there?
Good, better, worse. Chicago's cursed. Come on, if we can't beat this backup quarterback, this year's 4-2 is going to feel a whole lot like last year's 4-2. Come on, Kalen, find some magic, brother. Let's do this.
Hi, boys. It's the Mama Bear. And it's like maybe mid-fourth quarter, and we knew this game was going to be tough. But it was also just going to be a test to see if we are able to rise to the occasion of playing in such a marquee game like this. A game that means so much to the other team, and you know what? We're just not there yet. But don't lose faith, everybody. Have hope. This is a young team. I mean, brand new coach, brand new schemes, offense, defense. So much new, so young, so much hope. So I just want to encourage everybody to keep it together after this week and look forward to next week. We got this. Bear down.
The Bears are going to lose by more than 2 scores to a 1-5 team and a backup quarterback. Maybe we beat the Giants, but that's it. Who else can we beat? We suck.
Hey, Bears fans, B-Man here. It seems like we're having to play the rest each week, too. That game was awful aside from the first quarter. Gotta turn it back around now. Bear down!
What up, Hoge Jahns? This is Lou, big-time Bears fan, stuck in New York. And let me say this, Ben Johnson just got out-coached for the first time as a head coach. Let's see how he regroups. Let's see how he responds. Bear down.
Ben Johnson is the guy. The sky is not falling, Chicago. It's going to take time. Bear down.
It's a fair way to end it right there. Bears are still 4-3. 2 winnable games coming up. 6-3 is attainable. I am worried about those receivers next week, but The sky's not falling. Keep proper expectations. Before the season, anyone would have taken a 6-3 record if the Bears. They would have taken probably a 4-3 record, to be honest, right now. On the other hand, what we've also said all offseason was it's about the quarterback, and that progress has not been where it needs to be at this point.
I'm sorry. I'm just distracted by B-Man literally growing up.
I know, it's weird.
With this podcast. We're with you, B-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on Twitter now, and the voice is changing, but it's great.
We're like a year away from like B-Man's girlfriend joining, his voice his voicemails. So we're with you. We're with you, buddy.
B-Man deserves better, as do all of you guys. All right, let's get to the super chats before we close out. We'll start with Cab. Are the pre-snap penalties on Caleb? Cadence has been an issue, and I wonder if operations would be smoother with Bajent not calling for Caleb's job. Just a thought.
Yeah, this is something we've been talking about for a couple weeks now. Yes. That's the answer. It's part of the answer. I think some players have adjusted to Caleb's cadence better than others, but the tight ends being further away from him seem to be at fault a lot. Joe Tooney had a false start yesterday too, right? Like that.
That one was debatable, but I think it's partially on Caleb for sure. I want to be careful with the second part of that answer, but to be honest, yes, I do think operations would probably be smoother if Tyson Bagent was playing. I think a lot of other things wouldn't operate the same, though. So that's not me saying he should be playing over Caleb by any means. But I do think that because we saw that in practice in August. The second team would get out there and they didn't have the same pre-snap issues that the first team did.
Like that's. I'm glad you brought up like August here because these pre-snap cadence issues, guys jumping off sides, these go all the way back to the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, keeping that in mind, I understand the exasperation and the frustration of Ben Johnson right now.
Christopher Burke, $10 super chat, 2024 draft, 3 quarterback options, polls with the first overall pick, selects by far the worst of the 3. And here we are. Let's not sugarcoat anything anymore.
Yeah. Drake Mays looks outstanding.
Honestly, the thing that I think the drafting Caleb Williams, this is not picking Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. It's a different. This was not a stretch. It was not a leap. It wasn't. Caleb was always considered the number one talent by most. Some of the stuff that's come out and reported, like by Tyler Dunn, about maybe some of the lack of effort, detail, and the way the process went about, especially when it came to Drake May's tape, if that is all true, that part is the process is what's concerning. You think that's fair?
I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers right now.
Oh, it's not even.
It's not even.
He's been the best.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a debate. It's just not.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the passer rating. Drake May 118.7, Caleb 90.2, QBR. Drake May 76.2, Caleb Williams 52.9. Like Drake May got sacked 6 times by the Cleveland Browns yesterday. 6 times. Did not look good early on in the game. And then after the game, you have Myles Garrett saying that he's thankful to be part of Drake May's journey. I mean, what the heck? Seriously, that happened. This is happening. That happened. He said that.
His journey. Your top 3 in EPA, passing EPA right now: Daniel Jones, Drake May, Jordan Love. Who had that preseason?
And 2 of those really sting from the Chicago Bears perspective, right?
Yeah. Chav, $5. Seems like players and fans got too excited when Lamar was out. Didn't take Ravens seriously. Good loss for them to learn to take opponents seriously. Well, some people did take it seriously and still pick the Ravens. Other people pick the Bears.
I'm guilty. I don't think the Bears overlooked the Ravens by any means, especially coming out of the bye. Maybe if they did, in retrospect, from their perspective, well, that's on them. But I don't know. I'm not sure that's part of this conversation.
No, and I was thinking about that this morning. The whole injury situation. It crossed my mind, like, just sort of as a topic to be like, well, the Bears' assumption that Lamar was going to play all week, did that hurt them at all? And then it's like, I don't think so. Like, it would have been one thing if Cooper Rush started and lit you up, because it's a different style. It's different looks. It's different scout stuff that you got to actually do in practice. Like, with this situation with Tyler Huntley, it's just a worse version of Lamar playing in the same offense, the same scheme, the same plays, the same scout looks. So I can't make an argument that the Bears made a mistake this week by not taking Tyler Huntley more seriously as an option to play. Now, I don't know. Plus, it has nothing to do with what the offense did after the first two drives or in the red zone.
Right.
So,
right. There's consistent themes with the offense right now. Struggling in the red zone and just committing a ton of penalties.
All right, we need to get out of here. I got a jet downtown. We got a CHGO Bears show at 1:00. Myself, Mark Carman, and Lance Briggs will continue to break things down. We'll get 55's perspective on everything after digesting the game again. And don't forget, tomorrow night, we're looking forward to being back with you in person. A live recording happening at the Chicago Brew House on the Riverwalk. Great venue, 6 p.m. Tuesday, October 28th. Again, go to allchgo.com/events. Click the event for this one and RSVP if you're coming. We appreciate you doing that, but it's a free event. Also, you can show up last minute too, if that's what you want to do. You don't absolutely have to RSVP. We just ask you to do it because it kind of just helps us prepare. But we'll be out there. Katie will be out there. Our guy Steven will be out there helping out too. It'd be a nice little football evening on the river in beautiful downtown Chicago. Looking forward to that. We'll see you tomorrow night. And if you're unable to make it out, or you're one of our many, many listeners that we know don't live in Chicago and across the world, the episode will drop on Wednesday morning. Become a diehard, allchgo.com. You can scan that QR code as well. It's on your screen if you're watching on YouTube. Get all of Johnsy's great content. Go back, check out his story on Al Harris from last week if you missed it, his post-game column. We'll have our next insider analysis column dropping Wednesday morning as well. Plenty of good options if you are a diehard. Plus, you get 20% off all merch and events. I think I covered everything. More shows coming your way.
We'll be here.
Plenty of content. We'll see if the Bears can turn it around this week against the Cincinnati Bengals. Hope to see everybody tomorrow night in Chicago. Hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe, rate, and review the pod. Talk to you next time.
See ya.